it's Mr. B. So this will be your Monday lesson. So we are going to be talking about static electricity, and you guys are going to be able to do your own static electricity experiment at home, depending on the materials you have. Just like last time, a few weeks ago, or maybe just last week, when you did your own static electricity experiment with the tissue paper and the balloon. I will add a video for any of you who do not have the materials at home that you are able to use. This will be in lieu of that. But if you're able to do it at home, that would be fantastic. So I'm going to take you from start to finish through the lesson and what you can kind of work through throughout the week. Again, you don't have to give this to me until the end of the week, so you have all week to kind of look at it. Tuesday and Thursday, I'll be available to answer any questions that you may have about this. And Wednesday will be a new lesson. So it'll be a little bit of base of this, but it'll be a new lesson for you guys to also look through and work on if you finish this early. So this first page, which you have available to you on Edmodo, is just information about static electricity. It gives you a little bit of information about what static electricity is and how it's negative electrons transferring from one object to another, because again, electrons don't really like each other. They try to get away from being in large groups. So when there's a lot on one thing and not a lot on another, they tend to jump to where there's less of them. That's why in the balloon and tissue paper experiment, when you rubbed it on your shirt, you added electrons, and then the electrons jumped to the tissue paper, and that's why you saw them kind of coming together. So in this lesson, what you guys are going to be doing, and I will scroll up for you guys here. So what we're going to do is you guys are going to be doing a static electricity experiment on your own. And so again, these are just rough timelines. A unit that I use, it usually takes like a class period to get through one of these experiments. And so again, you guys have a couple days to work through those. So that is all available for you. This page is not available for you guys, but this one is, and all the other ones are available for you as well. So this is just for you guys to be reading. Again, you don't have to read all of it or do anything with it. It's just there for your extra information for you guys to read through. It also gives you the dangers of static electricity. The stuff we're working with is not very dangerous, but as you build up more and more and do more complicated stuff, it could become dangerous. But for us, we're not doing anything super crazy. So this is a foldable, kind of like what we do in class. So if you guys are printing stuff off, by all means, you can create this. If not, it's just for you to have. Again, it's sort of based off of the previous information slide. So it's asking you for a definition of what static electricity is, which you can get from this page right here. And it's also asking you, how does static electricity happen? Again, that's going to be explained in here. So that's where you can get that. Again, if you want to do it, awesome. If not, you don't have to. That's not the main part of this lesson. So what you're going to go on to do is you're going to do this experiment. So once again, you're going to need a balloon and then a handful of items. So this gives you examples of items that you can use. So it goes on to say paper clip, paper squares, tissue paper, felt, wooden items, etc. Whatever you have in your house, as long as it's more small office supplies. Don't start grabbing your kitchen spoons and stuff like that to see if that'll work. Our balloon is not going to be strong enough or create enough extra electrons in order to pick anything up. So just grab small items around the house, a variety of items. Again, these are going to work the best. You're going to see the most varied results, but whatever you have access to is going to work as long as you have a balloon. And then the recording sheet is coming later. I will get to that, but we'll go through the instructions first. So on your recording sheet, which I will show you in a moment, you're going to write a prediction about what will happen when the balloon is held over the items. The key part here is that it's uncharged, so you haven't rubbed the balloon on your head, you haven't rubbed it on your shirt or anything like that. It's just after you've blown up the balloon, hovering it over top of the items to see what happens. Hopefully, I'll spoil it for you, hopefully nothing happens. Nothing should be attracted to the balloon because there shouldn't be any extra charges on it. So you're going to record what happens when you hold the uncharged, the unrubbed balloon over top of your items. You're going to write down what you see happen. You can just give a general statement. So none of the items attracted, these items attracted, all of the items attracted, whatever happens. Then, after you've done that, you're going to write a prediction about what you think will happen when the balloon is rubbed 20 times on your head. Again, on your head, on your shirt, either or is going to give it enough electrons that you're going to see a different result than what you had the first time. So you're going to rub it 20 times, and then again, either one object at a time and then re-rubbing it on your head, or just like hovering it over all of the items like in a row kind of thing. I'd recommend that you rub it on your head, test one item, and then try it again. Rub it on your head, test a different item, and then try it again. You can take electrons off of the balloon by rubbing it with a damp cloth. That will remove any excess electrons in between your tests. So if you're testing the tissue paper, you'll rub it on your head, hold it over the tissue paper, write down what happens, and then wipe the balloon with a wet cloth to get rid of those extra electrons. So you'll rub the balloon 20 times on your head, hold it over top of the items, and then say what happened and record your findings. And then you're going to try and explain how static electricity played a role. So why did it pick up certain items and not pick up other items based on your understanding of static electricity from the reading, from other videos, anything like that. This page right here is just a repeat of this. Makes it easier for me when I'm photocopying stuff. So we're going to skip over this one because I don't really like the format of this recording sheet. And you guys will get another foldable similar to the one that you got for our first static electricity experiment. So again, you have your prediction is going to go on this side. So what will happen when the balloon is held over the handful of items? Either one at a time or just a pile of those items, seeing which ones you pick up. And then you'll write down here the observations of what happened when you held them over the items, and then explain what happened. So it picked up these items, it didn't pick up these items, here's why I think that. And these first half, so this top half right here, is based on not rubbing the balloon on your head or on your shirt. Just below that, so prediction 2, what will happen when the balloon is rubbed on your head 20 times and held over the items? Again, either one item at a time or all of the items just in a pile in front of the balloon and then you're holding it over top. Don't hold the balloon too close because then it might just accidentally like stick to the balloon. So you want to give it about like an inch of space, maybe a little bit less of room between the items and the balloon, just to make sure that the items are actually being attracted to the balloon and not just accidentally sticking on the balloon due to uncaused electric interference. So again, over here in the observations, you write down what happened when you rubbed the balloon 20 times on your head and then held the balloon over the items, and then explain why that's happening. And then that will be your entire lesson. So you can use this one. This is the one that I've given to you. If you want to structure it this way, you can. This one's a little bit more confusing, number one, because it's sideways, but it stacks the observations and the predictions weirdly. It's asking you to observe before you predict. It doesn't really work out that well. I don't love it. So I would recommend using this one, which is the one that I've given to you guys on Edmodo. And it reads just like a book. It reads left to right, prediction, prediction over here, then observation over here, prediction over here, observation over here. And it's pretty straightforward. So that's your job for this lesson. Again, if you just want to write it down on loose leaf, your predictions and your observations, that's fine. You don't have to use this sheet. And once again, I'll go back up to here. This, as well as this, is just for your information. It'll help you make a better prediction and write a more scientific observation, but it's not necessary for you to do for this lesson. The main thing that I want you guys to do and work with is this explanation and then writing down your predictions and observations on this sheet. Tuesday I'll be available for questions. I know that I know that you and Mr. Vashina have your Zoom meeting, so if you have any questions for me afterwards or you want to ask Mr. Vashina and he can pass those questions along to me, that's all good. Other than that, I hope you guys had a nice relaxing weekend and I will talk to you guys on Wednesday. Have a good one. See ya.